It would help if I unmute myself. It'd be an exercise in lip reading. Okay, so this is the second reading of the day, and if you're seeing it, that means I've uploaded it, because yeah, it's going to be a different type of reading, and I'm not even sure how to classify this yet. But okay, so two cards that just flew out. So this Five of Wands has been going on a lot. Coupled with that is the Sun. I'm going to leave that out because I just did the Valentine's Day reading, and not because it was Valentine's Day, but I would have done it yesterday on the 13th. Sunday is usually when I do those weekly collective readings. And I didn't. I did it today. We've got Pluto trining the North Node, and I talked all about that in the other reading. Wednesday, we've got the full moon in Leo, which is a, Leo is a big, bold sign. It's going to be carrying over that energy that we had in January from the Cancer full moon. There's a lot of stuff. I'm sort of stepping out of the individual here and looking really at the collective, how we function as a collective, and those collective energies affecting the bigger picture. The previous reading I did today was more about the individual, our personal relationships. There's a little bit about money and finance in there because it's coming out, and that seems to be one of the points of contention between people as well. And so bottom of the deck, Ace of Pentacles. And here we go, this very immature energy. So what I want to focus on, look at these. Okay, we had, I think, all of the fives in the previous reading. And I'm sorry if the volume on that one might have been down. I just readjusted my settings. I don't know what happens, that everything periodically goes to its default, which is poor audio. Why that's a default, I don't know. So, okay, what we've got happening right now is what did I call it? Our BS meter is at 0.001. It's very low tolerance for BS. At the same time, people are divided. They are divided down to every single issue in as many ways as you could imagine. I think probably in more ways than we ever imagined. And I want to see about the unifying. What elements, in what ways can we unify? This should be on mute. There we go. Apologies. What ways can we unite and be unified? And what is happening out there? What are the bigger energies? Okay. Well, this is, interesting. So the world came up in the other deck as well. So there's a huge opportunity here. And the huge opportunity for uniting, for celebration, for joining, happiness, all of that. You have to take a leap of faith. This is the Fool card. She's holding on to this old thing. You have to let go. You have to surrender, completely let go. Standing here like this and holding on, it's a temporary thing. Either you move all the way back in, stick with the status quo, or you take that leap into the future, into the unknown, into this magical place with this sacred geometry here. This guy doesn't know what to pick. Okay. If this card had shown up in the previous reading about Valentine's Day, I'd say, well, this is lost typically in a love situation, the Seven of Cups. Can be lust, it can be daydreaming, it can be folly, it can be superficial, depending on the other cards. But he's trying to pick here options, some scattered energy, some fog, some cloud. There's some snakes, some ladders, something's free flowing, something's different. What's different? Do we want something that's just different? It's like the word change. Oh, I want things to change. Well, you better specify in what way you would like things to change, because sometimes change is worse. Sometimes change is better. Sometimes you don't care. This again, I have this, I'm looking and I can see this little guy, my little finger puppet, my little crow, Dexter. This deception here, the hood is on, the sun is shining. There is illumination coming. There is illumination coming. And that is a theme. That is a theme really for today and for this week. Deception is falling away. Whether that's your own BS or collectively or with your partner, all moving. Okay, so that's a little foreshadowing of what's happening. And I don't know, I'm compelled to use a different deck entirely. I need something. No, sorry. Just stick my face up in the computer like that. Okay, I'm going to use the universal weight deck. So how do we navigate these collective energies, and what is likely to happen on a big scale? You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Read into that a little bit. No cutting, bottom of the deck, 2 of Cups. Well, okay, all right. So before cutting, 2 of Cups. 2 of Cups is all about reciprocity, equal give and take, understanding, mutual understanding, finding something common in between for the greater good. Okay. It's not a calculated give and take. It's a natural flow of give and take. There's mutual respect, mutual attraction, mutual love, mutual friendship. Okay, that's what the 2 of Cups is about. And then when I cut it, it's the 8 of Cups. And again, we have this moon, phases of the moon. It's a cycle. Walking away from all of this, walking away from something that you thought was it, walking away from something that you've put a lot of effort into, turning your back on something that you've been dedicated to, walking away because it is no longer serving you, walking into something else, walking into a new phase or a new era. I'm actually going to do the Celtic cross with this. I'm getting a super strong pain here when I'm talking about this card. There's like, my ears are popping. There's like frustration, agony, turmoil. And then the first card I pull out in the position of, now my Celtic cross is a little different than most people. So I will tell you the name of, I do 11 cards. And the first card is the state of mind. So collective state of mind, the 10 of Swords. That's really comfortable, isn't it? In the other deck, Tarot of Mystical Moments, the 10 of Swords has this woman sitting there with this big hairdo, and there's all these different hands, and it looks like there's like these knitting needles being stuck in from all sides, and she's just sitting there in this excruciating pain. Okay, similar to before. Okay, so remember, 10 of Swords, state of mind. maximum frustration before we reset to a 1. Okay, so it goes up to 9, where we have all that anxiety, sleepless nights, negative self-talk. Well, what if this, what if that, all the worry. And then you get to the 10 of Swords, you're done, you're toast. Recycle time. Okay. Recycle? Yeah. Renew, recycle, reset, regeneration, rejuvenation, whatever you want to call it, all the re words. Present environment is the sun. This keeps coming up. So the way we are feeling is nothing more than that. It is a state of mind. It is a perspective. The environment is actually filled with this energy. And if you want to think of it as, okay, cosmic energy, Mother Nature, you know, the millennia of ancestors who walked this planet, there is that strength, the strength of the sun in the current environment to pull from. And the crossing current is this choice. It's choice. It's an either or, an either or. Okay, which one do you want? Do you want this or do you want this? Now, the crowning energy is this very slow, steady, loyal, steadfast, righteous knight. This is this crowning energy. So again, connect this with that sun energy. Okay? Now the foundations on this situation, like, so the foundations that created this current environment. Blissful ignorance. The immediate past, God, the world. So leading up to this immediate moment, we have the sun and we have the world. Same like the other reading I did. The immediate future. Defend this position, this defensive position. Now, what is that defensive position? Is it all positions? If it's all positions, we end up in a stalemate situation. If all positions are held, no progress happens. When we look at the crowning energy of the Knight of Pentacles, slow, steady progress. Okay. Future environment, the Tower. So everything has to come down. Everything has to come down. Now, the influence of friends and family, the people you interact with. You have the Ace of Swords, Sword of Truth. So the truth is what prevails. Not positions, but truth. Okay, so seek truth. That leads you to, well, look at what she's holding. So the Queen of Swords is the no BS queen. She is the queen of, she's a little bitchy, actually. Zero tolerance when it comes to anything but the truth. So she's saying, come forward. If you don't come right, you can see that my sword is drawn. No tolerance for anything less than the truth. Wow. So the outcome is Six of Wands, which is victory. Victory. Okay. Now, we look at more about that. Okay. More about that outcome is the Hermit. Still introspection. It is still, I guess, withdrawing to a point, sitting back and reflecting. We're looking at a timing period of about 4 months. So where does that bring us? Mid-June? Yeah, March, April, May, June. Yeah, mid-June. Now, that outcome of victory moves us into the High Priestess. And the High Priestess is about using your intuition. It is a higher vibration. All the twos are typically good. I mean, especially what we started off with, which was the Two of Cups. And here we have a 2 in the High Priestess, in the Major Arcana. And it is, again, duality. So the Magician and the High Priestess, 1 and 2. Okay. Recap to that. State of mind, 10 of Swords. Present environment, the Sun. Crossing current, the 2 of Pentacles. What is crowning the situation? The Knight of Pentacles. The underlying theme that brought us to this point, the Fool. Our very immediate past is the World. Very immediate future, 7 of Wands. The future environment, the Tower. The influence of friends and family, people you interact with. The Ace of Swords, the Sword of Truth. See, there's a crown there too. Just to draw your attention to that. What happens before the outcome? BS meter. Would you want to walk up there and lie to her? The outcome, victory. More about the outcome. It's the Hermit. The timing card, 4 months. I mean, in an energetic sense, the timing can always be off, but that's what we're saying. It can also be the 4th month, which is April. That doesn't feel a little close. Okay. And then the High Priestess moving into the state of heightened awareness. Okay. All right. Do with that what you will. I'm going to pull out 3 cards. Tarot of Mystical Moments on this exact issue. So I cut the cards because I'm going to shuffle them. Queen of Swords and the 7 of Wands. Different deck, same cards. We had this in the other reading. So here we have the King of Swords and the Devil. What you're going to get is the Devil's going to dress up. The Devil is going to dress up as a clear thinking, rational, logic and reason. The Devil is going to be wearing a logical, reasonable, we had this too. This is a theme, and the Magician's at the bottom. So here's the challenge. The challenge is scientifically, if you have a hypothesis, you test it by trying to prove it and disprove it. So seeking truth to be the answer. And then we have, it's Valentine's Day, so we have heart's desire. And it says, so the other one that I had was Valentine's Day, right? So it was passion. And it started up, the very first word was love. And if you've been following along for weeks and weeks, it's not typical. So it says, you are being showered with love. Your time of waiting will soon be over. All your heart's deepest desires will be fulfilled. Okay. A little room for this. Let's see. Why not? My little crow puppet had an opening mouth. I would probably pick the runes. Crow puppet on my finger. So thank goodness we don't have a crow puppet with a mouth that opens. For all our sakes. We had this one too. I only took 2 runes this morning. That Legu, feminine energy, the Empress, the divine feminine, Mother Earth. All right, that's it. That's all I got to say. Do with that what you will. Do with that what you will. Things to ponder. Okay. Don't forget to like if it resonates with you, share and subscribe, and really try and find ways to unify, ways to unite, ways to 2 of cups yourself with others or another.